Okay. First things first, what is your name, your age, and any personal identities you feel like sharing?
Charlie Almeida, 37.
Where are you living?
I bounce a mission,
Mm-hmm.
and I bounce place to place sometimes at my mom.
Mm-hmm. A mission, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do or what do you hope to do?
I do hair a little, write music, fun stuff, just arts, the
Mhm.
arts. I want to be a conglomerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to help the diaspora, like invest in businesses, new ideas,
Mm-hmm.
technology, basically, computer engineering.
Mm-hmm.
The growth of the economy where we know that the machine can do it, but we have the vast knowledge that we can also do it
Mm-hmm.
because the machines are infallible, and they don't see that that person who stutters or who can't read is savvy in another way. We're like, yo, we can use you over here on this side. If you can't read, we're gonna team you up with somebody who's autistic, who's vast knowledge, and you guys are gonna work this out for me.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, putting people together to make the world work a little smoother.
How do you typically travel around Providence, and is it working for you?
Yeah, I love it. I take the bus. I usually do a connection where I can take the bus, walk a few streets, take another bus. Or, for instance, I take the R line if I want to take the 21. I don't want to wait downtown. I take it to Broad Street. I do a connector. Or I can go to the train station, take a connector, and go to Woonsocket, go to Pawtucket. It's the scenic route sometimes.
Mm. How does it affect your life?
It's made it easier. I remember when it used to be 60 cents when I used to take it on North Main Street by myself. And it's, you meet new people, you see the outlandish, and then you're like, oh, that's just the normal for them. What's outlandish for me is somebody's coping with life. And then you just realize that we're just all coping in different ways and we're using different mechanisms. So I get to see the beauty of a child's growth. They used to take the bus with their mom, now they're in high school. I get to see the lady who was young, now she's a grandma, and now the grandchildren are helping her. I get to see the transition of life, and the city comes alive, and I like that.
So, what are your views on the elimination of Kennedy Plaza as the central bus hub, and how will it affect you and the people you know?
It's a backfire. You're just robbing Peter to pay Paul, and basically when you first become homeless, you don't know what to do. When you get there are former homeless people in transitions who's backslided, and they show you, oh, go to the church, go to the mission. Gummy, Frankie's mom, she brought me here in 2016, and she's like, oh, let's come eat. I didn't even know it was a fully functioning church. 10 years later, here I come, and then now I'm integrated into the church, and I love it. And you get to know the news before it hits the news. Sometimes you're the witness, you're the eyewitness, and you're just like, I'm not going to say nothing. That's just a payback for something, retribution that we knew was wrong 10 years ago. And sometimes you see the drug addict, but you don't see that was the person who was an intellect, and they ascended too quickly. Maybe they got out of high school at 15 when they should have waited till they were 20 because they were knowledgeable, but they weren't, the emotional intelligence wasn't there yet. And those are the people that I usually see. Like, we talk about science, they bring me to the library, like, oh, if you're homeless, just go to the library. I would have never thought of that. Or if they give out food at the Amos house, and this is somebody who's strung out, who can barely talk, but if they got a riptych, they'll give it to me. If they got money on the EBT, they'll buy me a meal. So I see downtown as an airport. We're each getting on our flight, and some stops are closer than others. What about the blind lady who knows all her stops memorized? Now she's going to need a guide. Who's going to pay for that? Now we're going to need a private ride. Who's going to pay for that? We are at the end of the day. And the people who are lost, the people who aren't doing drugs because now they take the perimeter route, where are they going to go? Now they're going to see the former friend who's like, oh, I got something for you. It's an institution where I call it the living room. We're changing channels. If you want to party, come to the center and see what's going on. If you don't, you can catch the R. You can catch the one on the side right here. You can catch the R line in front of the Social Security office. Or you can catch it in the center where you know you have self-control, and that's not for you. Some of us don't have those because we don't know how to self-soothe. But I have that control, you know? And sometimes you just come by just to see, oh, they're still here. The statues are, I call the older statements the statues. They're still here? Okay. They're still selling their cigarettes. They're still helping the old lady. A thug, when he's with a grandmother, he's just a child. And everybody's grandmother's your grandmother. Everybody's mother's your mother. Everybody's child's your child. You know the rules. Those are the unspoken rules. You're not supposed to do that. And Kennedy Plaza has those. And I'm book smart. Well, I was just book smart. Street savvy to a sense, but I was overcompensating. And what being on a bus taught me is just like, just play it down. Just live cool. You're going to see it all. Everybody sees it. Let the person who's been here long enough acknowledge it. Then we can all acknowledge the wrongdoing or the right doing. Because sometimes we just fall into the middle of a chapter of a book. And we don't know the beginning, and we're fighting for the wrong cause. But I think keeping it centralized is great, and it's going to bring revenues, because when we do the PVD festivals, the nightclubs out here, the trains right there, out of city, how are they going to do it? It's like going to Boston and taking South Station. This is our South Station. This is us. It's a breath of fresh air. And this is the economic drive. This is our street market. We are the vendors. And I think we should invest more into it instead of stripping it away. It's like the skeleton key to the city, and you're acting like it's not. Roger Williams built it. It's here for the first to thrive. It's for anybody who knows there's somebody, but the people who see it refuse to acknowledge it. Somebody's going to click with you and be like, oh, I see that. I'm going to show you somebody else who I know is like you. You can take it there. But there's no harm done. No harm, no foul there. So I think it should be kept as is. It's great for the growth. It's great for Johnston to have it here. It's great for Cranston to have it. It's great for Woonsocket to have it here. This is where HUD is right here. URI, J-Woo. Everybody's here. You catch a Buster Bryant. Brown's right here. RISD's right here. We're seeing the kids who don't, like me. I went to UCAP, but I never realized the universities were here. Just got on the North Main bus, got on the 27 and walked to UCAP. I'm hearing somebody, oh, I went to RISD, punk rocker with no. I'm like, what's RISD? My aunt works at RISD. Aunt works at Brown, but I'm not clicking. But being in the atmosphere, oh, you're smart enough to go to Brown. Oh, you're smart enough. Now I'm walking to campus. Oh, I could do that. Oh, they're drawing. I could do that too. But you have to see it for yourself to achieve it for yourself, you know? Or somebody like you, like I say, oh, you take it, but say, oh, I could take pictures too. You know, it's just, in life we have small epiphanies, and for it to be true, the sign is seeing yourself in somebody else, even if they don't say nothing to you. Even if I never spoke to you, I would have seen you, I was like, what is that? Maybe I'll see you taking a picture, and I'll be like, oh, I could do that too. And it's just a hub for the 13 colonies. This is where it began, and it should stay as is. You walk around the rivers, and you see the signs. You see Musqueamicut. I didn't know that was Musqueamicut till 2 days ago. You know? And then you just know the travels of the world. It's like taking away a museum. It's a museum for Rhode Island. And I love that.
How would you ideally like to get around Providence, and what would need to happen to make that a reality for you?
I'd like to bike it. Bike it like you bus it, and then the buses take a bike on it. And then you can bike it, say, a little quarter of a mile, half a mile. There's, right here, there's a bike route to go to East Providence. There's one going to Pawtucket. There's one right up the street once you get off exit 20, once you get off bus 27, 19, 17, 28, it's right there, you can take it. I'd like to bike it, basically.
Do you feel safe while traveling around Providence?
Love it. It's the safest I've ever felt. Today I didn't have no cash because somebody took my thing, and I saw Teddy on the bus. He brought me to Shells, and I just know him from downtown. Got me a drink, got me a meal. He gave me a few bucks, you know what I mean? And it feels like a family. Sometimes you have people that are related to you, but they're not your kin. And these people are my kin. They're my tribe. They initiated me into adulthood. Granted, I was in my 30s, but age is just a number, depending on the level of knowledge and growth and love that you receive from people. And I learned English when I was 6, so I don't know culture. All of this is just the creation. Like country music is my favorite. It was like, but I don't know better. But I love Tupac. I love Biggie. And country was his favorite. I just discovered in a documentary. It's all just one. You know, and it's a family. It's a good people who are struggling to grow. And some of them are just, people say like the devil exists. No, you're just in fear of, it's your old self and your new self battling, and you're just in fear of the real you and your potential, and you're afraid to fail. So you rather be in the dirt because, you know, I'm enjoying this, and if I'm suffering, I know what it's like. And they're scared to backslide. But what I've noticed, this is a lot of people, they'll self-harm, but they will not go out of their way to harm you. And we just got to help them see the potential in themselves. We got to invest more into drug programs, more into telling people, I see you. Because when somebody sees you, you got to see you. And invest more into emotional intelligence. We're just shoveling books. By the time I'm done with a test, most people don't remember it. I remember it because I go to the back of the chapter, I take the quiz, I go to the library, I get the real view, not the brainwashing that we have to have a society of capitalism. I'm not mad about it. I know it works. I know it's efficient. But we have to have the people, yeah, I see it. Yeah, we all see it. Now you tell me you see it and I tell you I see it. You're like, oh, I'm not crazy, right? Then we're like, we're going to play the game. But as we're playing the game, we're building little businesses to make sure that if the game's not working for you, it's no longer feasible for your mental health, we know we can invest in you because the little population that we have will buy from you so we can spread it out through the city. Like, that's a good person to come to. And this is what I've learned a lot about business, communication, tolerance. And I've learned a lot about racism, but subtle racism. Subtle disparities of people not liking you for the way you look or you have a resting face. No, I'm not smiling because I'm not an actor. But once you get to know me, you're going to see that every time you see me, I'm genuine. I don't like people who are happy all the time. They're faking it. If you're grumpy, hey, Mr. Grumps, that's I'll call you every day, bring you a drink until we find something that we have in common, and that's our thing. Then that's all we talk about. I don't need to know about what happened yesterday. So it's just a hub for knowledge.
How could the city of Providence or RIPTA improve your experience getting around?
They've been really efficient. I want the terminal to open, the middle one for the bathrooms, because when it's cold outside, people with like anemia or older people with disabilities, the snow's bad on them. I want that to open up. Maybe they could put a little restaurant where people could contribute and go eat to make sure the revenues are good, you know? And that's basically it. It's really inviting. The supervisors are wonderful. They do their best. The drivers are great. The last few years, they've immaculate became, it's a greatness going on. It's good. The bus timing is great. No, it's pretty good. Overall, 9 out of 10. And the supervisors are welcoming, and they do their best. They do their best at what they can do, you know. They should have more like emergency rides for people. If you're going to the crossroads, they can send you there so that you don't have to walk. Yeah, that's basically it. But they're great people. Great people that work at RIPTA. I have no complaint about the working people. The supervisors are wonderful, but they can only do with what they have.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Providence is a growing city. It's struggling. But it's not without help and not without hard work. If you're looking for the negative, you're going to find it. But if you're looking for the positive, there's a little daycare, and you see them go to the park, and when they go to the park, people put out their cigarettes. People, like, help them make sure they're crossing the road right. You know, there's, like, a high school for pregnant teens. So we're not leaving nobody behind, because that person's ushering the future early, we want to make sure that their arrival is correct. You know, Jay Woo's here, you know. This is the historic 13 colonies, and the immigrants are here. We are the ones building this economy at an alarming rate, birth-wise, financial-wise. They have the strongest, smallest businesses that you will find. And you will see there's a lot of enclaves around here, like the little Spanish, but we all intermingle. I speak Spanish, Creole, Portuguese, French, because this is what we do. We're a little New York, you know? People from here work in Boston, New York, Connecticut. They leave for Philadelphia. I have a friend who works at the CIA, and just started as an immigrant child, and there they are. A friend who works Pentagon. We're ushering, we're creating, we're the beginning for a lot of people who arrive here with no English and no training. The cleaning lady's child could be the president of the next company. And that's why I always say hi to her or him, or any child I see who doesn't speak English. I always acknowledge them, because I know how it's like not to know. It's painful. And not knowing ushers you into adulthood quick. You gotta know the signs. If you can't read them, you gotta know your body language is switched. I gotta go with you. So it's a great place for a diaspora. It's a great place for a RIPTA to keep ushering and welcoming the new people. Like, I've met refugees from Iran and Iraq and Syria and all that. And it's a great ushering for them. How would they go to CCRI without knowing that the CCRI bus comes right here? If they don't speak English, they can say CCRI. You know, and they could say URI. And as a community, we need to embrace them and hold hands, because they have a story and a knowledge that they can share with us, so we know what their past is holding and what our future could hold if we don't stick the glue together. No matter your religion, sexuality, anything that's going on that's just on the outside, that's just the outside. We all live the same. We have the same struggles, and when you go to Kennedy Plaza, you don't see no judgment. And that's what it's there for. It's a transitional place.